It wasn't meant to be a moment. It was supposed to be filler. NBC didn't schedule Caitlin Clark's live appearance to shake up basketball. There was no hype, no fanfare, no framing of it as a takeover. It was just a quick segment, a few questions, then back to regular programming. But the second she went live, something shifted. The pace changed. The room leaned in. The conversation stopped being polite. Before anyone could react, Caitlin Clark had taken control of the screen. Not by yelling, not by showing off, not by trying to prove anything, but simply by being prepared. She broke down plays faster than the analysts anticipated, read coverages before the clips even finished rolling, and spoke about spacing, tempo, and decision-making like someone who didn't need permission to be there. And that's when the numbers started moving. Viewership didn't inch up, it soared. Live metrics spiked during her segment. Social feeds ignited, and clips were shared before the broadcast even ended. People who hadn't been watching suddenly were. And that's when the discomfort began.
Fever star with an enormous following within the game is joining the network's pregame coverage for its debut of Sunday Night Basketball this weekend when the Los Angeles Lakers play the New York Knicks at Madison Square Garden. The debut. They picked her to kick it off. Not, yeah, it'll do a couple weeks and then you'll come in. No. We need you to launch this.
This wasn't just a women's basketball audience anymore. It was everyone. NBA fans, casual fans, people who didn't care about leagues, only moments. And Caitlin Clark had created one without even trying. On air, the reactions were subtle. A raised eyebrow, a half-second pause, a smile that didn't quite hide the surprise. Behind the scenes, though, phones started buzzing immediately. Executives noticed, producers noticed, sponsors noticed, and so did players, because this wasn't just exposure, it was elevation. For years, players have been told the same thing, that the league would grow together, that no single name should stand above the rest, that attention would be shared evenly. But what happened live on TV shattered that idea.
Clark actually, in fact, shouldn't have been the number one overall pick, and, all of this stuff, like if you weren't 100% anti-Caitlin Clark, there was something wrong with you. At least the general media aren't necessarily like that anymore. The WNBA media absolutely are. Absolutely are. Like, we've still, the phrase "the Fever are better without Caitlin Clark" is one that was used by commentators. Like, to be fair, at least no one's gone full Cheryl.
Caitlin Clark wasn't being treated like just another member of a group. She was being treated like the centerpiece. That's where things grew tense, because attention is power, and power always creates friction. Within hours, reactions began spilling out, though indirectly. Not through official statements or press conferences, but in subtler ways. Silence from places where praise was expected, sharp comments from corners that felt threatened, and a defensive energy that didn't match the moment.
Hey, I'm good here. They go and get Caitlin Clark, making her debut as an analyst on TV. Let's take a look at the article, shall we? Caitlin Clark joined Sunday Night Basketball for 2 NBA games. Caitlin Clark is headed to the NBA, at least for a couple of nights. NBC announced Tuesday that Clark, the Indiana Fever star with an enormous following within the game, is joining the network's pregame coverage for its debut of Sunday Night Basketball this weekend when the Los Angeles Lakers play the New York Knicks at Madison Square Garden. The debut.
The phrase Caitlin effect started trending again, but this time it meant something entirely different. This wasn't about ticket sales. It was about credibility. Once someone proves they can hold a national audience live, without controversy, gimmicks, or help, you can't pretend they're just another player, and pretending became impossible. That's when the outrage began bubbling up, not from fans, but from inside the basketball world. According to multiple reports, frustration grew quickly. Some players felt blindsided, others overshadowed, and a few felt exposed, because the segment didn't just highlight Caitlin Clark. It highlighted who wasn't ready for that moment. And readiness matters, especially when the spotlight is unforgiving. Meanwhile, Caitlin said nothing. No clapbacks, no interviews, no victory laps. Silence in moments like this speaks louder than any response, letting everyone else reveal themselves. Within days, debates erupted. Was this fair? Was it favoritism? Was NBC pushing a narrative? The uncomfortable truth was that NBC didn't create the reaction. Viewers did. The network followed engagement, retention, and clicks, and the numbers didn't lie. Her segment outperformed surrounding content. Her clips outran highlights, and her analysis kept people watching. That wasn't bias, it was demand. And demand scares those who don't control it. As Caitlin Clark's presence grew, something else happened quietly. Fans began noticing who was missing, not just from screens, but from conversations. Certain voices faded, certain names stopped trending, and when attention shifts, it doesn't ask for permission, it just moves. This sparked uncomfortable questions. What happens if coverage keeps leaning this way? What happens if fans choose personalities over parity? What happens if one player becomes unavoidable? Once that happens, control slips, and control is everything. According to insiders, internal discussions grew heated. Messaging became cautious, appearances were reconsidered, and language softened. But the damage was already done. Caitlin Clark didn't just go viral. She changed expectations. Fans no longer wanted her hidden. They didn't want balance. They wanted clarity.
Yankees, America's team. The Phillies gave Clark rave reviews and even invited her to come try it for real, and now NBC is giving her that opportunity as well. She's going to be in a basketball arena, like she always is, and in her comfort zone, which is on the court talking about the sport she loves and the sport that she shines in. Of course, they're going to be breaking down what they expect these teams to do. Lakers-Knicks, I believe, is the first game. It would be nice if they kind of do like the little roles that they do on the court. Okay, I'll play LeBron James, you play Austin Reeves, you play Luka.
Fans wanted the truth about who actually moves the needle. And once they decide, leagues don't get a vote. The backlash wasn't loud at first. It started subtly. Unfollows, disengagement, comment sections turning hostile. Then it sharpened. Criticism of leadership, accusations of mismanagement, questions about priorities. Suddenly, the conversation wasn't about Caitlin Clark anymore. It was about why it took so long, why a moment like this had to happen by accident, why it took live TV to show what fans already felt, why the system always seemed slow to recognize its own stars. That's where panic sets in. Leagues can survive scandals, but they struggle to survive misreads, especially when the audience feels smarter than the decision makers. And that's exactly what happened. Caitlin Clark didn't embarrass anyone. She exposed the gap between preparation and entitlement, relevance, and routine, those who can command attention and those who expect it. Once that gap is visible, it doesn't close quietly. NBC moved on, the broadcast ended, but the ripple didn't. Every appearance after that was measured against it. Every segment without her fell flatter. Every debate circled back to the same question. Why does she feel different? The answer is simple. She treats the game like it matters. Not just the plays, but the presentation, the explanation, the responsibility. That's what viewers felt. That's what rattled people. When someone shows up prepared for the biggest stage, excuses become obvious, and excuses don't age well. This wasn't a hostile takeover. It was an accidental one. NBC didn't open the door, it caused chaos. But when Caitlin Clark walked through, she didn't knock, she belonged. And that's what changed everything. The audience has now seen what's possible. They've seen her command the room, translate the game, and hold attention without forcing it. You can't unsee that, and you definitely can't put it back in the box. This moment matters, not because of outrage or drama, but because it revealed something fragile. The old balance, the idea that exposure could be managed, attention rationed, stars contained. Caitlin Clark didn't break the system. She showed how close it already was. And now everyone feels it. Some are excited, some angry, some afraid.
Caitlin Clark doesn't play basketball this season. Caitlin Clark will literally go. Her career will have ended at 23 years old. Which is crazy because let's be real. As relevant as Caitlin Clark is, how many people are going to be watching Caitlin Clark every single game in Turkey? How many people are going to be watching at 2 p.m. on a Monday every single Caitlin Clark game in America? Very few because, it clashes. And as much as people want to watch Caitlin Clark, do people want to watch, it's the relevancy's going.
But no one is indifferent. And in media, indifference is the only real enemy. This wasn't just a viral moment. It was a shift. And shifts don't ask for permission. They happen whether people are ready or not.